Hello YouTube, Lampy YJo here, and I'm here today with a very cool interview and a very cool story all around. I am joined by my moderator, iCentrix, aka Philipp, who played his first IRL YCS this weekend at YCS Dortmund. And he did not only play it, that would be a pretty lame story, he did also come all the way into top 16, and on the way to that finish, he did some absolutely ridiculously and great things. And yeah, Philipp, how do you feel after this weekend?
Yeah, I feel great. Like, it's still quite hard to believe to just top the first IRL race, yes. Still, yeah, I hope I can top more events than just the one event in Dortmund.
Yeah, for sure. Now it's on you. You have to basically prove that you belong up there now, because you reserved yourself a spot up there, and now some things have to follow. So just for the general setting, it wasn't your first YCS overall, but it was your first IRL YCS, right? Because you were pretty close
Yeah.
to topping a remote YCS, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's correct. Played the remote YCS in January.
Yeah.
That was the bird up try and Sotzal format. When I think it were I don't know if it were I think it were 11 rounds of Swiss, and
Should
I
be. Yeah.
finished. Yeah, I finished. I think 7-1 day one, but bubbled day two, sadly.
Yeah. Sadly. I mean, I remember from this story you told me that day two, your first opponent did not show up in this tournament, right? Wasn't that the case?
Yeah, that's correct. I think like afterwards, I mean, Noah with X1, he did just think he has no chance of topping. I think he might have just been still asleep.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he was American or something, right? Because some Americans also
Yeah,
joined the
yeah.
tournament and stuff like that. Yeah. So you were really close there, getting a YCS top from your own home, but then it didn't work out at the end. But this time you really wanted to get yourself revenge, and you wanted to get your first YCS top IRL in Dortmund. What was your preparation looking like? Of course, you of course were in
Um,
every single Lampy White stream, obviously, as you're a moderator of the channel, and that helped immensely, of course. But no, for real, how did playtesting look like?
Honestly, my playtesting was quite awful, I would say, if I would say it, because I did not have enough time to. I mean, I tested the deck for quite some time, also before the release of the Ishizu cards and so.
Hmm.
But before I never played like the deck in an IRL tournament.
That's
I
crazy.
mean,
You didn't
yeah.
touch the cards. I mean, you maybe playtested a little bit on your own, of course, which works. But
Mm.
in this specific matchup, in this specific deck, you have to play versus somebody because it's so interactive, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt a bit remote and so,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
like not at an IRL event. I wanted to go to the Mega Regional the week before, but I was sadly kind of ill, so
True.
I
True.
was very shaky in the first rounds because I felt like, oh my god, it's like the first time I'm actually playing the deck, and I
Yeah.
started with 40 mirror matches.
What a
So
welcome! What a
yeah.
welcome!
Yeah. I mean, it was the best chance to learn the deck
Yeah,
at the first 4 rounds for me. But yeah,
absolutely.
of course, I did prepare a bit, like with combo lines and how to interact against the deck. So it wasn't like I just received the deck on Friday.
Yeah, I see. Funnily enough, you also prepared quite a bit with the Naturia deck, though, right? Because the beginning of the hero story on the weekend was that I brought Philip into the coverage actually by recording a Naturia deck profile with me on Friday for the live stream, which we showed multiple times over the course of the weekend. So you already had your safe spot in the coverage. So you actually had your job done for the weekend, right? With that
Uh,
cool Naturia deck
yeah,
profile.
yeah, it was super funny, like to just record that one. I was more shaky before that one than before my feature match. So kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, we're getting to that part. But let's start with
Yeah,
day one then. So you played
yeah,
four Ishizu tier to start it off, you said, right? And
yeah.
did you win all of them?
Oh no. I did not start with four. I did miss that because I started the first one against like it was tier in it, but it was tier Ishizu Runic Sprite.
Okay, maybe a bit too much for my personal taste, but all right, all right.
Yeah, for me as well. I don't know how he did fit 40 cards. I do not know.
It was 40,
Uh,
really?
it was 40. It was 40. But yeah, I did start that one. I lost sadly my round 2 match against a good friend from Discord. So kind of a tough start with 1-1. Also playing against a friend within 2,500 plays
Yeah, that's so unlikely.
is quite unlikely, but it happened to me. Yeah, but I played many mirrors within the tournament, and I did not lose a single one until my top 60 match.
Crazy. Wow. You beat
Yeah,
all the mirrors, every single one.
yeah, I won them all. I won them all.
I
I did draw
won
one.
them all. I won them all.
I drew one. I drew one.
Okay, I
drew
mean,
one.
fair enough, fair enough. That's cool. But how many mirrors did you play in day one then? Because you said you played 4 very early, but probably a couple more came
it was
in, right?
3. Yeah, yeah. It started with 3 mirrors.
Yeah.
Then round 5, I got flundered by Dennis Hager.
That's so crazy as well. Like,
Yeah.
Dennis Hager actually is also a very good friend of mine. He also played his first IRL YCS like after 5 years or something, and then you two guys play against each other and he flunders you. Shout outs to him though, because he made top 16 as well, I think, right?
Yeah, he did. I think and he was a super kind guy. It was very nice to talk with him, even though he beat me in like 25 minutes or so because I said like, yeah, I got enough after 25 minutes.
Cool.
Round 6, even my opponent did not show up.
How?
So,
I don't understand. How is that happening?
yeah, I mean, like with 3-2, like it was a real pairing. Maybe he thought like, yeah, the pause was too long or so.
Yeah.
But therefore, I was super feared of my tiebreaker, which was
Yeah.
really close in the end. But I'll come to that later.
Sure.
And then I think I played 1 Sprite and 2 Tirishizu. Yeah, like my round 8 match and my round 9 match were both Tirishizu matches. And
Uh-oh.
day 2, I played 1 more. So it were in total 6. And I think like all my, no, not all my top cup matches, like my top 32 and top 60 matches were some Tirishizu stuff as well.
Crazy, but
I
that
think
means
like 7 to 8.
you literally played Ishizu to your mirror matches at midnight on Saturday, right? So and you still managed to make it up in your brain, and you still were concentrated enough to actually focus on those matches. Really impressive stuff for sure. And so you ended day 1 on a record of 6-1. It should be, right?
No, it was true. 9 rounds, 6-1.
Yeah, right. So
on the bubble.
Yeah, exactly. You were on the bubble immediately. Like, you would have to win all 3 rounds in day 2. So that was quite a task. And then in the first round of day 2, you sit down. Well, how was your night? How did you sleep?
So the thing is, like, for me, I was on the bubble from round 5 on.
Wow.
So I did not expect much, to be honest.
Yeah,
so
I see.
It was like, but my night, it was quite tough because like the event ended at 1 in the night.
Yes, something around that.
So yeah, and like my roommate Tim was already sleeping, and I think he was a bit ill. So he did not sleep well, and so did I not. Because like all the adrenaline also like lets you sleep very hard.
I do feel the same when casting events. You just you're so hyped and all that adrenaline is in your body, and when you then go to bed. Fun story on the side, on Saturday evening, I wanted to stay in the venue actually watching the last round of Swiss, actually going through the table, seeing who's doing well, but we got sent home. They had to force us to leave the venue to actually go into the bed. Because I was still super hyped and I wanted to see more Yu-Gi-Oh! And they were like, you're on the early shift tomorrow, please go to bed now. We want to have you very, very high energy again tomorrow. And yeah, so we had to leave the venue. Like, they told us to. It was really funny. But yeah, so not the best sleep. And then, what was your round 10 match? Against what? Remember me.
Yeah, I do remember, of course. But my round 10 match was actually a feature match against a 60-card Dragon Maid pile, even though I would not call it a Dragon Maid deck.
I would have thought the same. I would have rather called it a Dragunity deck, right? Or Dragunity Dragon Maid or something.
For me, it was like Dragunity D-Link pile. like that. But I do know that the coverage don't want to write pile in the name.
Yeah, obviously. But the funny thing was, you of course updated me because for the guys that weren't at the event, basically all the Lampy YGO community in between rounds would meet again and then talk about how things are going down and so on. So Philipp also came to the coverage stage, to where I was all the time, and told me, yeah, I'm on the bubble, I'm X to 1, I have to win them all now. And we were already eyeballing one specific deck for a featured match. And I was telling him, yeah, we already have, so you're probably not going to have a featured match. Maybe just in case you randomly play versus this one guy we already picked for the featured match. And then I see pairings a couple of minutes after, and I'm like, that can't be real. He played versus the dragon deck we wanted to feature, and so he actually got the feature match there. Yeah, so did you think I was picking the feature match because of you, or we were picking because of you, or did you know in some way that it was about your opponent being the pick there?
No, I knew it was because of my opponent.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I do know that you want influence personal things like into choosing a feature match.
Yeah,
Because
indeed.
it would be really unprofessional. So I do know that you pick based off the decks or
Yeah.
names either. So the thing was, like, I didn't knew it. I did finally ask Aaron, like, because I saw that name on his phone before, like when he was paired,
Yeah.
and asked him for the deck, and he said, "Yeah, I do know, and I think he plays Dragon Maid."
Crazy.
Yeah,
So
but
you
when I
knew
saw the
that.
60 card pile, yeah, but the thing is, when I saw the 60 card pile, I knew it will not be standard Dragon Maid with Beast Shields. It will be like a combo pile. So
Yeah.
I
But
didn't know. Yeah,
you won the die roll, so you were probably quite happy about
I
that
did.
versus the combo pile. And I think you even told me, because you knew the deck, you went for a different opening because you thought Abyss Dweller is
Yeah.
not really that great versus this deck, right?
Yeah, and I still stand by that assumption because I do not think that Abbas Dweller would have done much.
Yeah, probably true. But to be fair, the end board you put out in the end also wasn't quite enough, because I think game 1 he just summoned Boral Land Dragon and just beat your
Yeah.
whole board, right? That was quite crazy.
I thought like I have like the god field. I thought like because I had like Elf, Baron, access to rule colors, I think as well, and the Perla Rhino plus Shufflers and 2 Beast Shields.
That's quite good, yeah.
The only thing is because of his like interruptions with the Beast Shields, I was not able to grab myself a copy of Crime,
Yeah.
which is super crucial in these situations. But then I got just like talents into dropleted, and yeah,
That
it
was
just
quite
wasn't
rough.
enough then.
That
Yeah,
was
it
really
wasn't
quite
enough
rough.
then. I finally, I mean, I knew at one point that I will get Boral ended, but I thought like, yeah, come on, it might take maximum 2 minutes. Time might be in my favor because like he plays 60 cards, so let's just let the streams see the Boral and OTK.
So nice of you, so nice of you. Yeah, but then in the end it did happen, and you lost game 1. And game 2 was rather quick, man. I think he insta scooped even, right? Didn't he even insta scoop when he saw your
Yeah.
board?
I mean, he saw my board. He knew I had Crime plus Baron. I had like V Godfield as well again because he had like one Bestial, which I just like thought I will. I don't know. I think I did shuffle like my monster back because I think there is like the Bestial thing in the mirror match is quite tough to decide. That's like for me the skill thing in a mirror match with Bestials. When can you let them resolve? When do you have to prevent them?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think like I saw on stream he had like I think for one lightning storm or so, but he knew like against 2 negates he won't come through. He
Yeah.
won't get through my board. So yeah, he just insta scooped. Like the thing is, it's quite tough in a feature match to have like the time because the judges also can just see them on the stream, and it is you feel kind of bad if you would always ask for time because everyone would think like you are stalling for time then.
Yeah, but you have to. I mean, is it? I
Yeah.
honestly, I've never played myself, and I don't even know how the situation is. So you do not have a clock visible to yourself all the time.
Yeah.
You have to ask the
Yeah.
judge about it.
Yeah, you can just ask the judge, which like it feels quite bad if you would like ask every minute how much time is left, because
Yeah.
then everybody would think like you would just combo into time, and you would might even receive a warning or so.
I see.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I think, and yeah, that's the reason I think why he like passed with 1 minute left on the clock, because he just had like no vision of time.
That's
and
crazy.
we were not able to ask for time while siding. Just not, I don't know if it's not allowed, but just because of the reason the judges can only see the time
Yeah.
on the feature match screen, and you do see the picture of the caster, so you do not see the time.
Honestly, I think that's something we may have to reconsider, to be honest, because it's a very obvious disadvantage in playing in the featured match in this particular situation
Yeah.
than just playing in the normal playing field. Because if you're playing on the tables in the main event, there's always a clock visible to you, so you should have that chance as well in the featured match. But I will bring that up at a later time. But was that already? I know you already kicked out some very big name in Swiss. Was that before day 2, or was it then following now?
It was before day 2.
Okay.
Actually, in round 8, I played against Daniel Hartmann.
Yeah, the German national champion of this year.
Yeah, and I gotta admit, I got like the god hands. I got quite lucky with my hands, I think, and it was quite late, so I was very thankful that I had very good hands.
Yeah.
Still, it wasn't a free win, I gotta say. It wasn't free like if you play versus the German national champion, you will never have a free win.
Yeah, but how was it for yourself, like mentally? Because that was the first big name you had in this tournament, right?
Yeah. Honestly, it was super tough. It was super tough.
So were you shaking, or how was it?
Not really. The thing is, if I would have been X1, I would have been shaking.
Yeah.
But after like round 5, where I was 3-2, I even thought about like dropping off a tournament. Because the chance of just going through everything is so unlikely, because you just have to get one time quite unlucky of Flunder shifting you 3 times in one match.
Sure.
And it's just over, because like in the deck, it's very likely that if you get shifted and don't have an answer to it, it's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the super tough thing. And then round 6, my opponent did not show up. It was a super long pause between games, so I just thought like, yeah, do you really want to continue till 1 a.m.? But luckily I did.
Luckily you did, for real. Yeah, and we're getting back to Flunder as well at some point, because you won the feature match, 2 more to go. And I think, what was your second opponent of the day?
It was like, I think I don't know if he was from Hungary or Bulgaria, but he played Shizutir. He played Shizutir. I did have quite good hands. I think I executed that. I think that game I executed the best of a tournament, maybe. And I won quite quickly 2-0.
Nice.
Still wasn't free, just like I had the better hand. I think I played the hand good. And yeah, there was nothing to do for him, I think.
Yeah, and then after that, I know you're on the bubble. I'm feeling with you. I do not have the duty for the last round of Swiss featured match, because the Italians are casting it, and therefore I'm walking through the top tables, and I see Philipp's table, and I see his opponent is on Flunder. I'm like, oof. That's rough, because that was like, you were telling earlier on even, yeah, at some point I'm just going to get flundered out, shifted out or something. That will be my destiny in this tournament. And then you sit there, last round of Swiss on the bubble versus Flunder, and I even could see that your game 1 was not going very well. I think I even saw you admitting defeat in game 1. So I was already like, oh, that's not looking too good for him. And I actually had to do something else then, and I had to leave the top tables, so I couldn't even really see how it was going from there on. So I was like, yeah, he's probably out. I just saw him losing game 1, it was quite rough. And yeah, then I came back to the top tables, and I just saw you packing your things. And it wasn't even that much time between the two things. Like, I left, and I feel like 15 minutes after or something, you were standing up. So I was already prepared to come to you saying, very good run, close one, but on to the next one. And you come out of the area, and I'm like, how did it go? And he was like, yeah, I won. And I was like, what the fuck? You did it! You did it!
Yeah, it was super crazy. Like, I mean, round 1, my hand was not good. I had like one line of play, I think.
Yeah.
And that one I decided to, because I did not know I'm up against Flunder, I decided to end on Elf Dweller Pass.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like, I was like, oh my god. Why? Because the thing is, I even asked for the number of cards in his deck, and he said 41. And I thought, like, which
Oh,
Flunder player would play
oh,
41? But
true,
yeah,
true, true.
I got 41 Flunder carded, I'd say. That was crazy, but game two went very fast because I ended on I did not end on Baron. I think I ended on of course Elf. I think Elf rule colors or Elf kit colors because I just wanted to have like a crime life.
Mm-hmm.
Crime was more important to me to than just like Elf Reborn something. But I had also had Soliak and I drew the skill drain.
Oh, kind of nice, kind of
And
nice.
yeah, and he went for activate Dark Ruler, and I just said like, yeah, that's fine. Then he came with normal Rubin, and I flipped Skildred, and he said, let's go to game three.
Nice, that's good. Especially good because you had a lot of times then for game
Yeah,
three. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it was
very
quite some
cool.
time. It was like about 20 minutes or so for game three. So
So how did game three? We already know you are coming out on top, but what happened in game three then?
game three, I was super lucky. I gotta say because I mean my hand was awful. My hand was not good. I was like, oh my god, why there's no hand interaction? No, I mean a Calbec wouldn't have done anything, but I had no orange light, I had no heaviness, I literally had like nothing, and he just looked at his hand and said, end phase.
Let's
And I was
go,
like,
let's go.
yeah. And then in end phase he activated shifter. I think the reason was because he was feared of cold by us, so he just thought like, yeah, okay, I will activate shifter and hope he has nothing.
Yeah.
But luckily I had Siren plus an Ishizu card. So what I did was I was able to end on. I was able to end on yeah, and I had Hard Rock Prime, which is also super good. So I ended on. I went for special summoning a Siren and normal summoning a. Oh wait, did I normal? I think no. I also think I did special. I did special a Shizu monster. I did not use Siren. I special like Mudora
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the Siren, I think. So I, of course I special 2 and normal 1 I do just know. And I went then for Dweller plus Dweller, Battle Phase, and then ended on Zeus plus Siren.
Nice.
So that was what I ended on, like Zeus Siren and plus Crime.
Yeah, and I mean you still knew that his hand must be really bad, so he at best top decks
Yeah.
into something, so probably the crime alone would have done it, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing in the end. I thought like I can just activate like my Zeus and then trigger Siren off if I want to, after criming my opponent. So I knew like even like Dark Ruler or Activate Field Spell does not do anything because I have a crime. And he actually had a good top deck, which was Extravagance.
Hmm.
And I fought for like maximum 5 seconds, where I just thought, yeah, no reason he doesn't activate that one turn one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%, 100%.
Yeah, so I did activate Crime, discard Callback, effect Callback, and yeah, he like went for activate map. Thought he can activate his map for normal summoning Crow, but that's not allowed. So he just like said, yeah, had one monster. So he even used the Crow in hand. He directly said it and said like pass turn,
All
and I
right.
just
And you knew,
went
you
for it.
knew, you knew. Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
I knew I just have to normal Heaviness and go battle phase.
yeah, you were. It was quite close though because you had not the best tiebreaker, and for this
Yeah.
event, we never. It was the biggest European YCS we ever had, so we couldn't really anticipate which kind of standing certainly 100% surely brings you into top cut. For the last couple of YCSs, it was always X to 1 is a secured top, and very few X3s come into top cut. But this time, it was actually that I think 2 X to 1s in the end did not top. So
Yeah,
you must have been scared to actually not
yeah,
make it.
absolutely.
What was your place after Swiss?
I was 62nd
60
after the
seconds.
parents. Yeah, the thing is, I just remember you were close to like breaking my shoulder after I won the last round because you were also so high because of what it saved. Everyone told me, yeah, congrats. I said I was the only one who said like, guys, calm down. As long as it's not on the standings, I won't like be happy at all.
Yeah, understandable, understandable.
Yeah, and I was lucky, like being 62nd. I mean, I even liked the place because I wanted to play against Khan Top Cut, to be honest.
That was. Now comes the crazy part, to be honest. You were
Yeah,
62nd, third after Swiss, some people will remember. Dinka Bui, absolute legend, being third after Swiss with Naturia Ishizu Runic. He basically invented a new deck. And getting paired against Philipp, who did the Naturia deck profile for the stream. So he was maybe one of the ones that prepared the most for the Naturia matchup because he knew what was happening. And yeah, but first of all, crazy name, of course. This guy has won
yeah,
YCSs. He came second place at YCSs multiple times. He just, for the last European YCS, came in second place. And it's just,
yeah,
playstyle-wise, one of the best players we have in Europe. And you see, okay, I have to face him now. First question, you knew also what he was playing. Would you have
yeah.
been more scared if he would have been on Ishizu tier, or were you more scared because he was on the Naturia deck?
I was honestly a bit more fit of the Naturia deck because he must have played a lot of Ishizu tiers within the
True, true.
tournament. And I think his deck was quite well designed also for the against the Ishizu tier matchup.
Yep, yep.
The thing is, as long as his hand is not bad enough so that he has to use the Miller, I think going game one would be very tough because with all the synchro plays he does, it is super easy for him to resolve count one or two times within his first turn. And just from the plus, I did not know what he was like, everything he was playing in the main deck. So if he would have been able to even fit Bishils or so, I
Yeah.
knew it would have been a very hard one. I think he did not play them though, so that made it a
I
bit
actually think he
easier.
did. I think he played
He did?
Bishtiels. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm pretty
okay,
sure he
okay.
did.
Yeah, and that was quite fearful. And he won the dice roll as well.
Yeah, but then also again, we were also not on duty for top 64, so that again, you can imagine my workday like that. I'm doing the commentary, I'm doing quizzes and stuff like that in between, and whenever I have time off, I'm not chilling sitting in the back. I will go out to the
Yeah,
tables and walk through the tables and see what's going on because I love Yu-Gi-Oh so much and I want to see. And so I was crossing your table and I also, of course, was paying special attention to it. And game one, even though he won the die roll, didn't look good for Ka. He didn't really get too much going by the looks
yeah,
of it. And you also, I think, interrupted him once or twice on his turn. So his end
yeah.
board was like really, really, really mediocre. And you
Um,
were actually winning game one quite fast, I would say.
the thing is, I did knew a bit like of the lines he will go to play, and he was pretty much going for, I think he had to go into into a Dugaris line, which is of course not a super good hand,
Yeah.
but I think it was at least a bit playable. But I think I threw the Calback at a good point. I do not know on what I did through Calback,
Yeah.
but I think I did use it on a good point, and he just was there like passing on Dugaris.
Nice, nice. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think it once had not. Again, also once had like I think it was, but it was just Slumber,
all
which he
right.
used in his turn
Okay,
later.
okay. Yeah, but that's quite good to. I don't want to say outplay, but at least play on the same level than Din Kabui. Like, that's definitely something very strong to have at your first IL
Well,
YCS.
I think for saying that I got a top more than
Yeah.
Event Central's one to say I played on the level of Dinkabu because he was. I mean, I saw in game two he was a super good player. I really think he is a very good player, one of the best.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I always knew, yeah, and I just feel a bit sorry because at the start I think I told you I did not know that you are just having the last cut as a
Huh.
player and not the last shuffle.
Hmm.
And so I shuffled his deck and he was like he was a bit like
Confused, irritated, maybe. Just
yeah, confused or so, and I did not want to like confuse him with his plays with like the shuffle or so. I just did not know because I often don't see opponents who like say who do really care about who shuffled last, but I do understand the
Yeah,
thought
yeah. I
process
mean, he
behind
was
it.
just following the procedure. That's very
Yeah, yeah,
understandable for sure.
I
But
do
yeah,
understand. So I just feel a bit sorry for that.
yeah. So he won game two, right?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, he resolved Fountain twice for six. I think I did not have a real interaction,
Yeah.
and I just got out. Plus, I had one line. I just knew it is one line. I went straight for it because I know if I play against a runic deck, he will completely outplus me turn three. So I just went into it looking for if he has the right interactions. He had them, and I just quickly said, "Let's go game 3."
All right, all right. And what happened in game 3 then?
Um, Game 3, I think my board was okay. I think I ended on like Baron Rule colors or so. It wasn't very good. I think I don't remember if I got hardly interrupted. I don't remember much of the games, but I think like in game 3 he had too many same named runics in his hand.
Hmm.
And therefore I was able to outclass the runic deck because his hand wasn't good enough
Yeah.
to add a fountain, and without fountain the deck is slightly worse.
Slightly, just slightly worse, but yeah, that's true. So, absolute crazy stuff. You doing the Naturia deck profile, then beating the only Naturia on top cut in top
Yeah.
64. Absolute hype story there already. And then I check the bracket, and I can already make up the top 32 pairings, and I see, oh, he's playing versus the winner of Zio Mandri and Chris LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And Chris LeBlanc actually beat Zio in top 64, so Chris was your opponent in top 32 then. So how
Yeah.
did you feel then? Because that's also a pretty big name that just flew in from America there.
So the thing is, I don't know if you do know how the pairings work. So because I just saw the bracket,
Yeah.
and any player had nicknames, like their nicknames from
Mm.
I think different platforms as well. So I knew I would be up against Dinkabui because he was third of the Swiss.
Yeah.
That's easy. I did not know I'm up against Daniel Hartmann, which was the first confusion I had, and I did not know I'm up against Christopher
Wow.
LeBlanc.
Yeah.
And so I was just I knew there are like only big names, and I was even thankful for playing against a no name because if I do lose, I had nothing to lose at that point. But if I win,
Sure.
like I did, it
Yeah.
is a great story.
The hero story continues. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
and I knew what he's on. That was also a good thing because I knew like against a Ishizu tier deck, I prefer to play than just against a rogue anti-strategy.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I do understand that. And I mean, he was on the feature in round number 1, so he already gave
Yeah,
away quite a bit of his deck, some tech
yeah,
choices with the mask changes and stuff like that. What do you
yeah.
personally think about the mask changes? Did he summon Dark Lord versus you at all?
He summoned it game 2, but I think it was already lost the game. So I think like for me, it looked like a win more cut. I mean, from seeing his combos, I gotta admit like I do see more of a reason now. When you pair it with smashes, at least the thing is you still lose against Calback.
Hmm.
Against one Calback, you still do lose, but he with a good hand, I saw he can also like summon him under L,
Yeah.
which makes it harder, but still not completely unoutable. Still, it was, I think, maybe not a bad card. Not as bad as I thought because, like, before the event, I said Mask Change 2 is a trap. It's a trap for players, but I mean, he played the blue for it. I mean, he could have also, like, used blue for summoning it, so maybe that's better.
Yeah, but still, I also wasn't completely sold on that, to be fair. So,
Yeah.
how did your match versus the big name number 3 in your tournament run then go? How did you just 2-0 him casually and went on, or what happened
Uh,
exactly?
Not at all. The thing is, like, all the players I met were super kind. Like, I mean, but with LeBlanc was the thing. We had a deck check before the match,
Ah, cool.
so we had like 9 minutes to talk a bit, which was super fun. Like, I was also very thankful that he was like cool enough to just talk and
Yeah,
not like be yeah, we have like a top 32 match now. Don't want it to talk.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was super happy that you was talking and like yeah, we are talking a bit. I was even saying like yeah, if he got some American stuff to strop, he just should hit me up after the match. And finally he did. I mean I did because he said like yeah, he has a bit of stuff we can look for after the match, which was super funny I think. But yeah, after 9 minutes, then like when everyone was already playing, I was like looking left and right a bit. I saw many tears. Like I think you did as well in top 32.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then like our decks came back. The judges just said, yeah, nothing is wrong. Just change your sleeves after you played the match because at another deck check, another judge might say they are a bit they are a bit damaged, like like in the top, like where the open part of the sleeve is.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's like a wave, it's wavy. Like
I
yeah.
see, I see.
So yeah, they just said yeah, play that match afterwards, get yourself in your sleeves, and all's good. But yeah,
Cool.
then we started, and luckily, I won the dice roll.
Nice.
Yeah, game one, I think my board was good because he played no base shields, which
Ooh.
I do understand because he wanted to go to. I mean, he played one druid, I think, but I don't. I think he sided with base shields. But correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't
Uh,
remember the list exactly anymore, but I
okay.
for that specific event, I just again, like not only seeing the mask changes, but also no big shields makes me very curious. That can't be right to me, but yeah, go on.
The thing is, I mean, I think I understand his reasoning that he wanted to. I mean, base shields go first and not super clutch,
True.
like a card like mask change or so. So I do understand that part. And he was on a small sprite package with Nimbles. And so I think he just had no space. He played like 45 already.
Yeah.
And I think in passing he played even 50.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think he just had no space for them, like except siding them for this stuff in. And game one, it wasn't really quick, but I think like he had like I think I played my interruption so that he had like one extend. He was missing one extender, I think, in the end to play from a board or so, but then just said, yeah, let's go game three after I was just about to outpass him.
All right. So it was 2-1 in the end, yeah.
It was 2-1 in the end.
Yeah.
So game two, I got like cooked because his hand wasn't really good, but then he resolved Calbeck Egido, and
Oh.
I wasn't that lucky. He was really lucky, but he also played not really lucky. He was hitting the one name, but he played it good enough to like get back my shuffles into the deck, and then I wasn't able to like mill another shuffler in the second effect of like a Guido or so.
Yeah, I see. I see.
So yeah, it was like him getting the fusion into Kid Carlos, and then he just gave me a good board and activated Master Change 2 within my combo, and yeah, I just said let's go game three.
Yeah, sure. And then you won it. But then that means
Yeah,
you got onto top 16. And honestly, this
yeah,
might even be one of the most important matches because
yeah,
having that top 8 breakdown, having those pictures being taken of the top 8 players and something, that's kind of cool. And you were played versus another German. You were paired against another German in top 16 then, which was
yeah,
Etienne Ita, who's actually from
yeah,
Dortmund, so the local hero
yeah.
basically. How did that match go? Like
Yeah.
he's a super nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I think I gotta add something for top 32 as well for
Oh,
the last match.
sure, sure.
What I was, I mean, game three was like it was like a super close game. I could have lost that as well. I was lucky to not. The thing is, what I thought, what was really, what I was really positively surprised of was that I do know opponents which try to like force you to play quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Also, game three when it's close to time, and we had like 5 minutes, which where many people like would say, "Can you please speed up a bit?" And Christopher LeBlanc was just saying, "Keep going," which I think was by far a nicer way. Like he just said like, "Yeah, he doesn't want to cut or so."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He just like, "Yeah, keep going," which was super nice. And Etienne, when he sat down, it was also a super kind guy, like starting with a handshake and so like talking a bit where I'm from, where I normally play or so, which I thought was like super nice, even for such a tense situation.
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
I saw after the match, like how relieved he was to like be top eight,
Hmm.
uh, which made him like my impression of him like even more positive.
Absolutely, yeah. Under
I
such
think,
a crucial situation, he was still nice
yeah,
enough to be talkative and so on. Yeah.
yeah, super nice and so yeah. To talk about the match, it was really quickly over. I had two hands which were not super good. He had the answers. I mean, not both. I mean, the first round was really close. He also told me after the match like he was thinking about conceding that one, but he was playing into my board. I don't know what it was. It was okay, I think. Not super good, but not bad as well. And he had like he was going with Kelbeck and then like playing all his tier stuff. And the last card in his hand was then normal summon diviner. And I had like used everything on mine. and he just like was like, then yeah, activate effect diviner, destroyed my, I think it was elf or so, and beat over another monster from me. And then I was left with Dweller against Baron with negate up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. My top deck was instant fusion. I knew instant fusion. I knew I just had like to keep it and hope I would survive another turn. I did not think I could like bait out with Dweller a Baron of him or so. So I just thought like, yeah, keep it, activate it in his turn, activate Dweller, hope he thinks like he can play through it, and then maybe miscalculate something. He just shotgun Baron, not caring about my one card in hand, which could have been Havness. So I think there was a reason to not use the Baron there, but yeah.
Sounds reasonable to me, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. I don't think the Diviner was the last guy. If he had like one or two, but his top deck was then Pearl Lorraine, and they just said like, yeah, no way he will misplay that one with Baron on the field, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
just,
understand.
yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, let's go game two. I said, and game two, my hand wasn't good. I had one line of play. He had two pistols, and it was over. I did not even think about, yeah, let's see his OTK. I just said, yeah, you got it. Good job, mate.
Congrats, yeah.
Yeah.
That's still such a great run. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Really good job. Actually outplaying, beating very big names in the mirror match, which is very skillful, as we not only saw over the course of the weekend. Like, it's definitely a super skillful mirror match, and you did your job. You definitely didn't get there by luck. You definitely had to work for it, and I'm happy to have you as a moderator of this channel, and to be so successful in this tournament. Seriously.
Thank you.
And I mean, you also, I think you realized I was also like emotionally. You said I almost broke your shoulder. I was really happy for you. I was really happy for you, and I really.
Yeah, Leo as well. I think I met him like at the way to the toilet when he came from it, and he just said like some positive words, and so like, yeah, good job, bro, and so, something like that, and I was just super happy about like all the people supporting me around, which was super crazy like in that situation.
Yeah.
I was a bit wondering about what you were thinking when I played against Chaos, so because I just saw like your face looking concentrated on the board. I was just thinking, yeah, what is he thinking now?
Yeah, but like I'm just watching, and I mean, when you see, the thing is, in top 64, when you wander around through all those tables, you gotta be really concentrated on the one, because you are just jumping into one field, and you then have to figure out what is happening right here, right now, because you 5 seconds before you were at a different game, and you're just going like, oh, and what's this situation? So I was not judging or anything on how you played or what was happening there, but it was just in general me trying to see what is even going on in there. But I could figure out that in game 1 it was not looking too well for Carr, because he couldn't really get his thing going. And then in game 3, I think I saw his hand of like multiple duplicates of the runic cards, so that also didn't look too crazy. I think you didn't have a whole lot either, but he just didn't have anything to really get back into the game, right? So that was close there.
I mean, I think I started and just had like a good negate and follow up, which then was enough, because he just like had the slumber. Yeah, and that was it, I think.
All right, so fantastic weekend all around. Do you want to shout out anybody that maybe made the trip with you or that supported you along the way?
Yeah. I mean, special shout outs to Tim and Aaron for testing with me a lot. Like, even though I did not have that much time to test myself, thank you to them both. Big thank you to all the people who just hyped me up. Especially my mod bro Astatok was like always smiling like on that picture. He was like all the time smiling that much.
He's a great dude for sure.
And just hyping up. He even played like the first day he played till round 9, even though having no chance to top. He was just like playing, being there, which was like, it is always a good support to have people around who you know.
For sure.
Yeah. So big love to all the people who just made the trip with me.
Yeah, I think the Lampy YGO community, which all of those you mentioned are part of, is in a pretty good space right now. I think we're making ourselves the first Top Count appearances now, even now with you, Philipp. And I think the community feeling all around is pretty good. Also, a lot of people on Discord, when I posted updates on you and so on, were like really hyped, we're really happy for you, we're really rooting for you. And I think it was just really a fun weekend, a great weekend for you specifically. Congrats once more, and I think that is going to be it for our interview right now.
Thank you.